have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
I just typed a note, but I'm getting no response. Let's see here. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hi, y'all. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. I have a new biblical question we're going to get to a little later. And yesterday in our fellowship, we discussed last week's question, what distinguishes you from other people? And the answer was nothing, really. Everybody's the same. It's just in their mind, they like to think that they're different. But they're not. It's a mind thing. It's crazy, too. Everyone think they're different, but yet they're all the same. It's time to wake up. You can get involved by calling. I mentioned that. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can podcast the fellowship if you are not there or didn't watch it live for some reason. When we talked about last week, biblical question and all that. But you can get involved if you're busy this morning and you're like working out or out and about or whatever. You can be listening to the show as it is happening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. No matter where you are in the world, around the world or up and down the world, all depending on what you believe. The earth is flat or the earth is round. Don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk, on X and rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Follow, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all those good things. Y'all know what to do, right? Amazing. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, and rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. Amazing. Amazing fellowship yesterday. Make sure you watch it. The men and women are on the path seeking the kingdom. And it is amazing to fellowship about those things. Rather just singing and dancing and hooping and hollering and carrying on, or sitting there waiting to be taught. It has nothing to do with God, by the way. All the singing and dancing and teaching you and all kind of mess. All kinds of mess. Amazing. I want to, we're going to be, there was a conversation came up yesterday during the fellowship, and I wanted to talk to my experts that were there about it, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But I do want you to know that my country, and I know people don't want to hear it, I understand it. You'd rather believe that my country is coming back than to see that it's not coming back. And the unfortunate thing by not seeing that it's not coming back, you're missing out on it. The devil, evil, is busy than ever in my country. Watch this from ILFOP.org. ILFOP.org. Many years ago, Paul Harvey broadcast a message to his listeners, and in his broadcast, he revealed where the nation was headed and what he would do if he were the devil. Watch this.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions, just let those run wild. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Amazing. That is too deep. That is so deep, I don't know what to say about it. I just don't know what to say about it. It's amazing. So I'm going to get to your calls and super chats, but that's what's happening in the world now. And it's like everywhere now. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Amazing, huh? We had this conversation yesterday, and it was interesting. And I wanted to kind of finish it up this morning with my experts. And so on my far left, and your right, Hake of the Hake Report is here. And Hake Report is every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then to my almost left is Sean, my producer, one of the greatest producers on this side of heaven. And then to my far right and your far left, Joel Friday, he black. And Sean, Hassan, you weren't here yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you won't know about this. And so to my far right is the anchor baby, the American anchor baby. And his show is Monday to Thursday at 12, and then Fridays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. The Joel Friday show is at on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. A lot to remember. At 11 a.m. Joel Friday TV. All right. So, Sean,
We're packed like sardines in this bottom left corner.
I know. Hassan, you weren't there, so can Joel sit in your seat?
Yeah.
Okay, you were not. No, you were not there.
Dang. No, sit here. I'm still gonna sit here. I'm still gonna sit here.
Wait, what?
Oh, Joel trying to throw you all the way out the building.
Yeah.
That's how you don't come to church. You get.
One thing I wanted you to explain to me about words. Yesterday in the fellowship, you said some quote about words. Can you tell us who said that, if you remember? What was the quote?
I'm trying to think.
About what?
About what the quote was.
You said that
Forget what I
something
said.
like, somebody said that every time you use words, you're lying or something.
Yeah, that was something I said.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, I thought you said some famous quoter had said that. You read that somewhere.
I don't
you remember that, Jay?
I don't think so.
If your lips are moving, you're lying.
Yeah, that was my answer to you when you asked me how do you know if someone's lying. I said if they're talking, if they're using words.
And what do you mean by that? I thought you had read, but still important. You're an important person.
Wait,
What,
the next
News to me.
what did you mean by that?
It's kind of hard to explain. You know, it takes a little while. But even my point is that even when you're talking face to face with somebody, you know, if you do actually communicate what you're trying to say, and the other person realizes what you're talking about, it's kind of a small miracle. It really is. Like, you know, they say 90% of or more of communication is nonverbal. So even when you're talking face to face with someone like we are, 90% of it, it's body language. You know, that's where you're really getting the meanings across. It has nothing to do with the words you're saying.
Oh.
You know, so people lie, like you said, everyone lies. Everyone lies all the time. And it's necessary to lie, and it's perfectly natural, and you sort of have to do it in order to communicate. We have to communicate through words. We're using words to talk to each other right now. And words just don't do the trick. They're insufficient to get your point across most of the time.
And so every time people use word, they're lying?
Yeah, because every word you say is just an idea. It's like when you try to get people to, you know, get to the define words. What do you mean by that? They don't know. They don't know what they mean by love and hate and good and bad. We don't know what these words mean, yet we use them all the time. So just the mere fact that we have to use words to communicate with each other means we necessarily have to lie to each other. But in that way, we get to the truth, because when you're sitting face to face with somebody, you see where they're lying through their nonverbal communication, the little facial tics and the little, you know, nonverbal subtle things that they do. You see where they're lying, and in that way, you see past the words, and you can see to the truth.
Amazing.
Of it.
Do you agree with that, James?
Not fully. Like, I don't think that lying kind of implies either you're lying to yourself and everybody else, or you're lying to other people, meaning you're intending to lie, or you're ignoring the truth, somewhat on some level knowingly. So just because you're using words and words are insufficient, doesn't make it a lie.
Amazing. When you say that, Joe, on Friday, TV.
No, I agree with what Sean is saying about lies. I don't really typically ever believe anybody at their word ever, because people lie, and then also not intentionally. People believe one thing in one moment, but then realize that they're wrong. So by default, we're all liars in that way. Sometimes we believe things that are right, and then we realize maybe down the line that we're wrong. So I do agree with the idea that it's best to not take anybody at their word and just wait to see what actually transpires over life.
Your face is kind of halfway on screen.
Yeah.
It's because we just got to change this set. I got an idea. Oh, there you go. I have to use the artistic mic. I got to rap now. Yeah, I agree.
Lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. So you agree with Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not to take people by their word.
How about you? You agree with this, Nick?
Well, I
Baby.
understand what he's saying, that the whole, like, words are insufficient, and so the second you use a word, you've taken the truth and tried to put it into human words, and it's insufficient and all that. But I feel like that's a way of, like, I may understand what he's saying, but there's that, and then there's, like, lying. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is, it's like, sure, it's, let's say words are insufficient and all words are lies, but why did you then lie? That doesn't justify you lying. You see what I'm saying?
There is one way for sure to tell when somebody is lying. They lie right away. Do you know what that way is?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
I don't know. They look away. They look down. They're like trying to. They look down and they're trying to. You can see them in their head putting together the answer as they go.
There's one way for sure you can tell when a person is lying right away. As soon as they open their mouth.
Oh, dang. You got me.
Huh?
You got me.
You know what that is, Joe Friday?
No, I'm not sure.
You sure?
All right, I gave my answer.
Oh, you should stay with the word thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How about you, Hake?
I feel like I know it, but I just can't express it.
Words can't express it.
Okay, let's do this one other thing, then we got to move on.
Are you gonna answer
What
it?
is it?
Yeah.
What?
Are you gonna answer it or no?
No.
What you mean?
I want you all to discover for yourself.
Oh, okay.
I will answer at some
fair.
point, but I want to encourage all people to start looking deep and deep within. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Huh? Yeah. You don't seem to like it.
Well, no, that's okay. I just overcome my anger in the corner over here.
Do you see what I'm saying about getting to the truth, though, past people's words? Like, you can see where they're lying.
Yeah.
And in that way, you can get to the truth of what they're saying?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. But I'm adding to what you're saying, and there is a way to know right away as soon as they open their mouth that they're lying. The very first word
Man.
or two, you know that they're lying right away.
Man. Is it filler words? Is it like,
No.
Like,
like? It's up talk?
Jenny said, mute the mic when you fiddle with it. Joel.
That's for us internally, Jesse. No, people don't need to know that.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know how to text. Too much trouble.
Nick, the brand new biblical question, what does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? We dealt with this yesterday. Originally, the biblical question was going to be something else, but then this came up during the meeting yesterday. What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? You say, Nick, you're the wannabe Christian.
Something like that. I mean, honestly, I can only intellectualize it. It's just what it says. It means to go with him when you're at your weakest. And when I think about it, though, maybe it's trying to tell us that that's the only way, like, God will like work with us, or that's the only way we can be made new, born again, something. Whatever.
You
those
heard
words.
that before? That saying growing up, did you hear go to
I
God?
actually never heard that.
It's in the Bible somewhere, so I may be paraphrasing it a little different, but go to God with fear and trembling. You don't know what that means?
Not entirely, but when we were talking about it yesterday during the meeting, I thought that that's the only way we can go to God. Everything else is ego.
Amazing.
We need to be broken down, but I don't know.
Gerald, you're a little ex-Bible thumper. What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling?
I've never heard of that. Go to God with fear and trembling.
You heard something like that?
I've only heard the fact that you should like revere God with, or have fear of God, or in regards to that. But I never heard of go to. So I'm not quite sure what that exactly means.
Oh, okay.
I just have my understanding of what fear of God means in trembling, but I don't know what it means to go to.
You have your understanding of what fear of God means and trembling?
Right, like, because a lot of people think that fear of God means like actual fear,
Right.
but I don't think it means that. I think it just means respect, like you respect the Father, knowing that if you do certain things that there's a consequence, but also you don't do certain things because you have a reverence to your Father or God. So I think it's just like a reverence, a respect thing.
Amazing. Sean,
Yeah.
you heard that saying before, something like that?
Nope.
Go to God in fear and trembling?
No.
And what does it mean? You have an idea what it means?
Yeah, it means just come as you are. Don't wait until you're strong and confident to sit down and do the silent prayer. If you're feeling weak and you're feeling afraid, and do it then. Just do it as much in those times as you do when you're feeling all strong and confident in yourself. So come as you are is my answer to that.
James, you're the homegrown Christian.
Yes,
Right.
I am.
And an ex-Bible thumper. Were you ever a Bible thumper?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. Yes.
Have you ever read anything like that in the Bible? I may not be quoted right, but have you ever read anything like that?
I have indeed.
And what does it, do you remember the quote?
It says something like in Philippians 2. I looked it up.
Oh, nice.
Work out your salvation in fear and trembling.
Yeah, something like that.
For it's, well, I could continue, but that's what it said. That's the phrase.
And what does that mean to you?
It means be serious about it.
Why should I laugh at? How should I laugh at?
Because I gave that look like I'm lying.
Is he lying, Sean?
Oh, I think I know about the lying thing. I think I know how to tell. I just realized.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
I think I just realized. Wink, wink.
I think I just realized. That's funny. What is it?
It's when they start off and say, I think this. I think the answer is,
Oh, so he was lying?
I don't remember if he said that, but
Oh. And so, okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
You so you said me what?
Be serious about it.
And how do you be serious?
Put it first. Put it as the most important thing.
Amazing. It is an amazing biblical
Whatever.
question, don't you think? What?
I said whatever.
I know white people say whatever and still go and doing what they're doing.
I think about fear
I
and
saw
trembling.
that in a movie the other day.
Oh.
This black guy and this white guy were arguing over something, and the white guy was in the right. He happened to be right, and the black guy was still yelling at him. He like, whatever. And he like, that's all you white people ever do. You just say whatever, and then you continue to do what you're doing.
Do you remember what movie it was?
No.
No.
I just happened to be flipping through the TV there. And I saw it.
Okay.
I wish I did. I'm going to try to remember these movies. Somebody was saying something.
I think about fear and trembling though, and doesn't everybody go to God like that? Like when they're freaking out and desperate. I'm thinking about when I was younger and I didn't care about God. I didn't think about it. I rejected that young, but I got drunk really young, and I was like, God, please save me. I was way too drunk. I just never done that before. My God, if you save me, I'll never do this again.
And did you ever do it again?
Maybe.
It's like, wait, right?
Can I read the whole section?
Yeah, please. And
So-
then we have to end here.
This is from your New Jerusalem Bible, found on Catholic.org.
Nice.
So, my dear friends, you have always been obedient. Your obedience must not be limited to times when I am present. I guess this is Paul writing to the Philippians. Now that I am absent, it must be more in evidence. So work out your salvation in fear and trembling. It is God who, for his own generous purpose, gives you the intention and the powers to act. Let your behavior be free of murmuring and complaining, so that you may remain faultless and pure, unspoiled children of God, surrounded by a deceitful and underhand brood, shining out among them like bright stars in the world.
Amazing. That's so deep. That is absolutely amazing. That's the new biblical question for this week. What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? What does that mean? Amazing biblical question. When I come back, your phone calls and super chat. Thank you all my experts. Amazing. Nice. Back in a moment. You about to say something? You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father, and you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it, and you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. So the brand new biblical question, what does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? We talked about it yesterday briefly in our fellowship. Very interesting. I really, really do appreciate there's no other church like it. And it's so much come out of it. You have to not want to find your way to be missing out what's happening there. Joel, you had one other little thing you wanted to add to that about the fear and trembling?
Yeah, I just thought of at the break is that the times where I have found to where I were to drift off into my ego or arrogance tends to slip in, God is quick to humble me. So every time those moments come up, I'm quick to recognize it and get back to, being humble, because there's that fear and that reverence of God's going to humble you like he's done before. So that's just how I view reverence and fear of God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I want to respond, but I got to hold it and put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
Are you going to tell us about the lie? Or is that going to be like the how to make a boy first thing?
Yeah, I'll talk about it, but I want you guys to smoke on it.
Okay.
But you can tell. Amazing. Thank you, man. Join us Friday TV every Tuesday at 11 a.m. right here on this network, JLP Network, at 11 a.m. Check them out. You can podcast Join us Friday TV as well. All right.
Can I say one quick thing?
Huh?
Can I say one quick thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hassan wasn't there Sunday, but he still have an idea here.
Yeah, just
Your mic is not on.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, just real quick. Yeah, I think that kind of like when you talk about like sitting down for 4 minutes and like these exercises that you recommend.
Right.
I think the trembling, people I think they're going to God a lot of times when they're in fear and trembling, but we actually go to everything but God. We go to alcohol, we go to sex, we go without and not within.
Uh-huh.
And I think that, that's what it really means to, I think, go to God with fear and trembling, because we don't. We go to everything else when we're in fear and trembling, these outer sources. So, yeah.
Very interesting. Another expert here on the JesseLeePeterson.com show. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
He wasn't there yesterday, but listening to it right now, I gave him some ideas about it. I appreciate it. Ron is out of Texas. Hey, Ron, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Ron. Oh, Ron accidentally hung up. Call back, Ron. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Ron had been waiting for a minute there, and I wanted to go to him to keep him holding on so long. But I want to do super chats from yesterday, and then we'll get to the calls. I want to have some amazing news item coming up here for you. So what I'm trying to do is it's Christmas time, right? And we say Merry Christmas, by the way. Merry Christmas to all of you. I do appreciate you. And Ron, you can call back from Texas. That line is still open if you want to jump in there. 888-77-53-773. 888-77-JESSE. Super chat. Super chat.
Jesse, I read that the average home price in California is over $740,000, says someone with a coffee.
Amazing.
That means that a person would have to earn roughly $250,000 on the low end, even to be considered to qualify to purchase a house there. You say that the wife shouldn't work, but as a practical matter, how many men do you know that make that much even working 2 jobs? It's easy to say that man should work and the wife should stay home, but let's be honest, what employers pay even half of that? Does anyone who only works for you make enough to buy a home in California? Let's be real.
Very, very amazing. Number one, if you and your wife don't have children, she should be working. The wife should only stay home if there are children, your children. She needs to raise your children and watch over them, right? And so that's why she should be home. And then number two, if you are married with children, you got to make sacrifices. The problem in the world today, nobody want to make sacrifices anymore in the way they used to. You don't have to buy a $700,000 home. They're a home for a little less than that, right?
A lot less,
and,
even in Cali.
Yeah. And so you can buy a home for less than that. You ain't got to go for that. Make the sacrifice. Don't keep up with the Joneses and live your own life, and it would be amazing. So it can be done.
And you don't even have to buy a house right away. You can rent,
Right.
or you can not even live in Cali.
That's right. You don't have to stay in California. You can live way out the outskirts of California, right next to it, somewhere else. You know what I mean? Amazing. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Prep Ham Paul, this is from Friday, with a Rumble rant. He's a monthly supporter.
You got to know how to rumble.com.
Public school system is especially not good for young males who have a body that is meant to and wanting to move, jump, run, and climb.
Yeah. The public school system today is not good for anyone, to be honest. Parents who send their children to a public school do not love their children. They hate their children. And that's why they send them off to these schools to make sure that they are punished. They don't love the children. That's just the way it is. Thank you.
OG Red with 2 Ds bought you 5 coffees. JLP, nice meeting you and the crew yesterday. Enjoying the show now with a nice peanut butter hot dog. Breakfast of champions.
You have not had a sandwich until you've had a hot dog and peanut butter sandwich. Amazing. 1 piece of bread, spread the peanut butter, cream and peanut butter. I like peanut butter, cream and peanut butter. Cream and peanut butter too. And then fold it together and go to heaven. It's so good. Thank you.
Yeah, it does sound good. On to thee, bought
You're
3 coffees.
Gross, disgusting, sinful. That's because you can't eat peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
You're just jealous.
On to thee, bought 3 coffees. Nothing distinguishes me. Any attempt to distinguish myself from other people? This is an answer to last week's biblical question. What distinguishes you from other people?
Right.
Ignites the ego. Any attempt. Aside from practical differences, any search for differences is the primary behavior of the ego we all share.
Amazing. Thank you. And you're right in that we're all the same, but yet in your mind you think you're different. See how the thoughts lie to you? All lies all the time about anything. Amazing. Thank you.
On gab.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, Patriotti said the relationships that I have with other people is what distinguishes me. That's what life is, relationships and interactions with other people.
That's what life is?
Yeah.
No. No, that's not true. And that doesn't even distinguish you from anybody else. But I understand why you said it. Thank you.
Sound Doctrine, 2 Timothy 4:3 on Gab says, my hope distinguishes me. My hope is not in man to fix the world's problems. Man can only make the problems, unable to fix them on any lasting basis.
Has hope ever worked for you?
Maybe. I don't know. Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of is not working.
How do you know?
How sort of? What do you mean? Either it's worked or it hasn't.
I mean, it seems like it's better to have hope than not to have hope.
And what is hope?
A positive thought about the future.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And where's the future?
It's not where, it's when is the future.
When is the future?
Later.
Later where?
After now.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
Why are you sweating?
Nothing. No reason.
New York Giants or just New York?
New York White Sox? I don't know. What is this? Anybody know? New York Yankees? New York Yankees.
Yankees.
New
Yeah.
York Yankees?
Yeah, this guy's a racist.
Who?
Josh Donaldson.
He's
Does it say Donaldson?
He black.
No, he's white.
Well, how
And
can he be a racist?
Because
It'd be
all
white.
white people are racist. It's the slur for white person.
Oh.
No, he joked around with this black player saying, hey, what's up, Jackie? Something like that. Making fun of him like he's Jackie Robinson. And unlike Jackie Robinson, this black player didn't like to play like that, so he tattletailed to the media and got him
Wow.
suspended.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
When did that happen?
a year or two ago.
Oh.
And so I bought this jersey, I guess you would call it,
In support of
100%
him?
cotton in support of Josh Donaldson.
Amazing. Nice.
Heretic the 7th or 8th said, I don't bear false witness against my neighbors, even those who are my opposition. Not bearing false witness against other people is a biblical principle, as well as a rare quality on all social media sites, he says on Gab.
Amazing. Thank you.
Gab.com/JC Lee Peterson. Jeff Hanselman bought a coffee responding to Jesse's comment from Thursday about a father and his children being the perfect picture. I got to chatting with an old lady, old black lady, she black, from my small hometown a few months ago. She was talking about her and her husband, how they raised their 6 kids back in the 1960s and 70s, and how different it was when she was growing up in regards to family. I started telling her about my 3 white babies, and she said, there's nothing I love more than to watch a man raise his children. That's deep. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
That's right. Did you know in the good old days when boys were boys and men were men, if there was a divorce in the family, the kids would stay with the father and not the mother. Isn't that deep? And now they started giving them to the mother and all hell breaking loose. Nothing but hell. Amazing. Thank you.
Andy Beck bought 5 coffees. Thank you for the newfound freedom.
You're welcome. Thank you. And thanks for your support.
Henry Ford Lives over on D Live, which we can't get going for some weird reason on I think it's a problem on their end.
Yeah.
The Zion Dawn wall going up around Israel seethe.
No, the wall going up. Amazing.
Lily Poo over on Rumble said everything you need to know is the word.
Everything you need to know is the word.
Is the word. Maybe is in the word.
Thank you.
This is a Rumble rant. Thank you.
Thank you.
From last Friday.
Yeah, thank you.
Lily Poo with another one. If you give up your rights for a sense of security, you deserve neither. Benjamin Franklin.
Amazing. Thank you.
Severio Jones donated a diamond on D Live. No message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors on D Live. Henry Ford Lives, Kid Combo 1.0, Taking Care of Business.
Taking care of business.
Potleaf, Rain Pipe, Barley Mob Bear, Wolf336 and Games for Rec. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you all very much. I do appreciate it. We're going to get back to get back to them.
We just finished the Friday ones. That's good.
Okay, nice. And we'll get to yesterday's.
Sounds
Sundays. Good. All right. Let me go to the phones. Time is going by like 90 going north. Let me go back to Ron out of Texas. Ron, welcome to the show. You're on the air. What? Ron must have an Obama phone. Ron, you can call back and try to get in that same line before someone else takes it. Eric is a first-time call out of California. Eric, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you. I wanted to try to answer this week's biblical question.
What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling?
I think it means that we're not supposed to go to God expecting His grace or His gifts because we've probably spent our entire lives lying and sinning. So we should really just be begging for forgiveness on our knees.
We should not go to God. We should be begging for forgiveness on our knees?
Yeah, instead of just expecting His grace.
And how did you come up with that?
I just thought up some lies, I guess.
All right. I appreciate that, Eric. I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. I want to hear from some other people about it as well.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, buddy. I definitely appreciate it. 888-7753-773. Lucas out of California. Lucas, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, hey, Jesse. Good morning.
Good morning, Lucas.
Hey, I wanted to answer the biblical question.
What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling?
I'll be specific, but to me it means to be sober-minded, and I can say that from experience. I mean, sober in a lot of ways, but I've realized because when I do the silent prayer sober, and when I go to sleep sober and all that, and which I've been doing now, because when I get off work I usually drink beer, but now I've been just sober and go to sleep. But it's so scary and it's terrifying, and the thoughts, they wake me up. They make my heart beat like really fast all of a sudden. I wake up because there's I believe it just means like when you're sober minded and going through that, and you're going to feel all these things, but it's terrifying, and you have to just make that step. So just take it, and just go through it. And in the end, it's going to be great.
When you say sober mind, you mean like don't go to bed drunk with alcohol and stuff?
Yeah. But then you can even think other sober things, like with anger, like going to sleep angry, and like, or like depressed or thinking about something and stuff like that. You feel all those things when you're sober and going to sleep. It's for me, because I always drank after work and everything, and now like that I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm realizing like how terrifying my thoughts are and everything, and like when I wake up, but like I go to sleep, but I'm awake. Like I can wake up like when I'm sober, sleeping and everything, and I wake up sober and I'm just sober that whole day. I can like control like my sleep. I can like I'm really like processing my thoughts and paying attention to my thoughts. It's terrifying but I'm just still going through it. The pain, there's a physical and there's a mental pain. There's all kind of whatever kind of pain, but I just go through it, and it's honestly great. It's honestly great because I know in the end it's going to be great.
Amazing.
But I believe that's what it means. Just
I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. What made you decide to stop drinking and go to sleep sober-minded?
Because honestly, I want to get over of like going to like I wake up a lot My dreams wake me up, like, but I can, like, I'm like dreaming, but I'm like also like I can hear like the room, I can feel my room, and I can wake up at any time when I'm sober. So I want to, and my heart beats really fast and it wakes me up, you know, and like, and so I'm like, I want to go through it. That's what's making me sober. I want to go through all that. It's painful. I'm not joking.
Amazing.
It really is.
I would love to respond to that, man. It's very deep, but I can't. I got to wait till Sunday. Anyway, Hake said he agrees with you. He said, also, don't be caught up in excitement, etc. You know, other things as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you for that,
Amazing.
Lucas. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right, bud. Stay with it. Amazing. 888-7753. 773. Ron from Texas, I guess something going on with his phone, his end. Maybe he has an Obama phone or a black Israelite phone. A black Jew phone, something like that.
What the?
I want to really, really do what you want, though. Really, just do what you want, of course. Encourage you to start paying attention to you, deep attention to you, to put your eyes on yourself and keep them there. You're going to be surprised, blessed at what you find. Really. It's going to blow your mind. But you got to really work on you. And don't worry about how long it's going to take and why it's so painful and all that. It's going to take a lifetime. So relax. Forget about how long it's going to take. But work on you. And as a result of that, you're going to be able to handle what's happening in the world and in our country. Because human beings are evil. Until they're born again of the Father, their heart change. I've said it over. Human beings are wicked to the core. All human beings. There's not one that's not. Until their hearts have changed from hate to love. They're wicked to the core. And when God said, trust not an angry person, do not trust an angry person, he was not lying about that one. An angry person is evil. Even in the Bible, it tells you that an angry person is a murderer. And so hell on earth is working through the people. And if you die that way, you drop your body with anger, there's no way out. At least being awake, physically awake, you have a chance to work on it, overcome it while you live. All right? I got to take a break. Sorry about the music being so loud there, but they're working on it. I got to take a break. 2 more hours to go. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. There's a line open at 888-7753. 773. Back in a moment. 2 more hours to go. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. Because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour one of the JLP Peterson Show. It is Monday, December 4th, 2023 AD. Everybody loves Mondays. Stay tuned for hour two. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Spending, but not giving. Common Nonsense Network CNN reports post-Thanksgiving greed and miserliness. Those are my words. Record high spending figures from Black Friday and so-called Cyber Monday. Charitable giving, on the other hand, at the lowest level in decades, according to data from so-called Giving Tuesday. A lot of you guys and gals gave to Bond, unlike the more worldly people giving to fake charities. Anyway, Santos Claus expelled. Chin Up King. Common Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet The Skim report on this quote, "The truth will set me free." That's a Republican former Representative George Santos, now a former representative, sharing defiant remarks on X. That's what he stated, formerly known as Twitter, after the House voted to expel him Friday, supposedly for ethics violations, a series of so-called scandals. He embarrassed them by being a mirror to them. George Santos is only the sixth lawmaker ever to be ousted from the chamber. A competitive special election will be held in New York's 3rd Congressional District to replace him. One less member in the meantime. 105 GOP lawmakers voted with nearly all the demon rats to expel this guy the third time around, the third time trying to vote him out. 112 Republicans and 2 Democrats voted against expelling him, to their credit, with some saying it could be a dangerous precedent. Republicans only have a 3-vote majority now, and they face a hefty agenda. Kathy Hochul, the so-called governor of New York, is going to announce a special election that's going to happen after the new year, I guess. Democrats leaning toward former Representative Tom Swartzy, demon rat over there. Santos is the one who flipped that Democrat seat, and this is the thanks he gets. Shaking my head. House Democrat Super PAC said that they'll do whatever it takes to win. Bet they will. George Santos became the 3rd member since the so-called Civil War to get booted. His rise and fall, by the way, is going to get a movie from evil HBO on Saturday Night Live, which nobody watches anymore. Some guy, Bowen Yang, been playing George Santos. I guess the mainstream media watches them. And he's vowing revenge against the GOP and Democrat representatives who voted to expel him. The Lord will repay. That Vermont shooting update, man. In Vermont, Hisham Awartani, one of the 3 Palestinian American students shot in Burlington last week, according to the far-left females at the Skim. Last weekend, he's paralyzed from the chest down. Man, his mother said he has an incomplete spinal injury that allows him to feel but not move. She also said he's going into intensive rehab. He was like 22 years old, got shot by a 48-year-old white man, supposedly. I don't know. And he and his other Palestinian friends were wearing that Palestinian scarf thing. It looks kind of cool, but not in America. But anyway, Israeli-Palestine war drama. Israel on Sunday said they killed a key Hamas commander responsible for the October 7th attacks that left around 1,200 Israelis dead and scores of others abducted. This comes as Israel has vowed to free the 137 hostages still held by Hamas and eliminate the militant group around the world, even if it takes years. Additionally, new airstrikes are hitting Gaza, Israel calling it a fighting zone and telling residents to evacuate immediately. The evil UN estimates up to 1.8 million people in Gaza. Nearly 80% of the population are internally displaced, having already had to leave their homes. And spoiled inmates. Common Nonsense Network CNN reports 5 states will allow inmates to make free phone calls from correctional facilities. Free? Massachusetts recently passed a law, liberal, putting no limit to the number of calls each inmate can make to help maintain bonds with their loved ones. Isn't that nice? I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up. Stand up. Stand up. And throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 778-888-77-JESSE. JESSE. Brand new biblical question for this week. Brand new biblical question. What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? Amazing question. It just happened to pop up yesterday. What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? Amazing. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, working out, whatever you might be doing, making breakfast, lunch, or dinner, anywhere in the world, robbing white people in the suburbs, breaking into their home during dinner time while they're out having dinner, black on black crime, whatever you might be doing, black excellent, whatever you're doing, and you can't sit and watch the show, you can podcast, of course, but you could be listening to the show, riding on a train from around the world, just caught a ride, coming into our country illegally, and they give you phones out here. I don't know if they're still doing that, but if they are, you can be listening to the show on the listen line by calling 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us on cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy.tv/JLP and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, blah, blah, blah. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to rebuildingtheman.com or buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk. If you missed the first hour, I want to encourage you to podcast it. And we played Steve Harvey broadcast from way back in 1963, I think. Paul. Was it 63 shot or 5? Was it back in 63 or 65? 65, Paul Harvey, not Steve Harvey. What the? It was a Harvey, but it was Paul Harvey, not Steve. It was talking about exactly what has gone out of control in our country. Satan has to deceive the world. In my country, Christian country, And you know what? It's only going to get worse. I heard a report during the hate news there, not the fake news, where Hake was saying that some city, I think Boston somewhere, they allowed the inmates in prisons and jails or whatever to make free phone calls now. They used to have to do a collect call, and those calls were so expensive, a lot of people didn't take them. And so according to the Hake report, 5 states let them do it free now, and Massachusetts is one of them. And I'm thinking, in our country today, the so-called lawmakers and the ones who are supposed to uphold the law, enforce them, are going out of their way to accommodate the criminals. They're going out of their way to accommodate the criminals, and the non-criminal citizens who need to be protected, they're not doing anything to help them. Massachusetts passed a law putting no limits to numbers of calls each inmate can make. Can you imagine? To help them maintain bonds with their loved one, according to CNN. They should have thought about that before they committed the crime. They weren't thinking of the loved ones while they were doing that. I saw a report this morning, and I was talking to my producer about it, Sean, where, and I don't have the whole story correct here, I'm just giving you, as I can remember it, there was a home break-in. 3 guys broke into this home in the LA area, and the man, his wife, and his child was in the home, and so the father grabbed his gun, according to the report, and he shot at least one of the guys, and he died. The guy died, according to the report, and another one was possibly injured. And the cops handcuffed the owner of the gun, the homeowner, where someone broke into his home, and he shot inside of his home to protect he and his family, and he got handcuffed. And I think they took him down. I don't know if they arrested him or not. But just think about that. Why are they doing this? Why are they locking down this innocent and going out of their way to assist the criminals? Do you ever question that? Why are they doing it this way? Why? Is something up with this? They want you scared. They want you confused. They want you angry. They want you fighting one another. They want as much conflict as they can possibly create. And why? To control you. To create a socialist, communist society right here in America, and it's happening. That's why they're not doing one thing to make it better in our country. Illegal aliens every day from everywhere. Drugs coming with them, crime, all kind of mess, right? They don't care. They can care less. Jobs. They prevent you from drilling oil now. They don't want you working. They want you upset. They send all our money to other countries and not to America at all. And don't think that the Republican Party, the representatives of the Republican Party, are any better. They spend a lifetime on dumb Joe Biden's son and doing nothing about the real stuff that affects us. And they're so proud of that. They come to they hold news reports, the Republicans, and give you an impression that they're caring, they're fighting for you, and they're not. They're not. We have a one-party system. We no longer have a two-party system. We now have a one-party system. It's crazy to see it. And then there are one or two people represented in the Republican Party who's trying to do something, and they're being stopped by the Republicans. Hake mentioned a Republican guy out of New York that was expelled because they said he did a lot of corruption things, George Santos. And why would the Democrats and the Republicans expel George Santos? He's no different than them. They might well expel everybody in government then. That's all the government is about today. It's not about helping the people. It's not about working for the people. It works against the people. They should have left George there. The people voted for him. Whatever, however he got there, that's all of them do. They're no different. And if you happen to be different than them, they don't want you around. They get rid of you. Isn't that amazing? Just like the children of the lie. You're not like them, they get rid of you. Amazing. But some people are waking up. With all this hell going on in my country, some people waking up that probably would not have seen the light had not have been for so much darkness in my country, in America. Some people waking up. Fox has reported that a guy by the name of Mark Fisher, co-founder of Black Lives Matter, Rhode Island, threw his support behind the Great White Hope. They're not saying Great White Hope. I'm saying Great White Hope, but they say Donald Trump. In 2024 race for the White House. The Great White Hope. Watch this from X.
You, a BLM leader, and you're now endorsing Donald Trump, saying he's the best candidate we have. Why do you think he is the best candidate that we have?
Because he is.
Because everybody else sucks. I like Trump, personally. And I think right now who we have sitting in the Oval Office is just a deep disappointment. And I really dislike the vice president as well.
Do you feel alone in this viewpoint in the world that you're in, being in the BLM movement?
No. I feel like the tide is starting to turn. I feel like a lot of Black people are starting to pivot off of that Democratic plantation for so long. We've been slaves to that party. Actually, we've been mental slaves, afraid to get off of that plantation because, we've been used and abused for so long. I believe it's a racist party that strikes at the heart of the Black family and the nuclear family in general. And I believe Donald Trump he's the opposite. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to give it to you straight. He's not going to, be a hypocrite and stab you in the back like the Democratic Party loves to do.
Amazing. And the last thing that the Democrats want is for the Blacks to leave that plantation. They don't want that. If you attempt to leave that plantation, you try to run, they're going to send that underground Black woman after you. You know that Black woman that the Blacks are always talking about? I forgot her name. She was some kind of underground person. They said she helped some of the Black slaves leave the plantation. Harriet Tubman or something like that. If you try to leave the plantation of the Democratic Party, they're going to send Harriet Tubman at you, after you. Harry, go get him. And Harry will come and turn running. Here's another example of support for the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. Watch this from TikTok.
The media played me real good. They played me like a fiddle. I used to watch a lot of TV, the news. I hated Trump, and I didn't even know why. And it wasn't until March 2020 that I was like, uh-oh, I think I need some answers. Who's the good guy? because I could see who the bad guys were, and they were pushing a lot of fear. Like, they're just trying to tell me what to do. They're trying to trick me. They're trying to get me used to a way of life that is not good for me and is good for them. And I listened to him, and I mean, he wasn't saying anything incorrect. He was like a businessman saying, this is where we're at, this is what we're going to do. They're just like, Trump said this, and Trump did that, and Trump doesn't like you, and if you like Trump, then you're not cool, and nobody likes you. So I saw the game being played on me, and I was like, oh, I think he's a good guy. I think he's in there for a reason. Now I understand why he was president. And he says a lot of interesting things. He'll say things like, you guys have too many middlemen in your way. I'm here to return power to you. And then I was like, something is happening.
Amazing. That's deep. A woman who started to think for herself and to question for herself. And the light came on. Isn't that amazing? And that's what happens when you, it doesn't matter your color, male or female, rich or poor, where you live or don't live, when you start to question things within yourself, the light will come on and you should know the truth. Not your truth, but the truth. You don't have truth. Good for her. Right on, right on, right on. That's the way to do it. That was deep. She looked at it. She questioned it. And it sounded like the Black Lives Matter guy did too, Mark Fisher. Every time you look within for the answer, you will find it. You will find it, folks. About anything. You are as smart or smarter, especially if you live from within, you are as smart or smarter than the intellectual. We had an interesting discussion yesterday during the fellowship about the intellect. Because I noticed that even with what we talk about, forgiveness and forgiving your mama and the devil in you and all that, the devil repeats that to you in your intellect. And if you're not aware, you think it's the voice of God or it's something that you know, and you're just huff and puff on that and go no further. And then you just kind of break everything down to end up to Jesus. And it's all intellectual. It's not wisdom. So you have to be really careful. Keep an eye on the intellect about all things, because it'll take everything and use it as though it's from God. And then you don't get any wisdom, it'll break down what you already learned intellectually. It'll break it down for you. And you think that's from God. It's crazy out in here, but it's so deep if you pay attention and know that all thoughts are all lies all the time. And so when the devil is telling you that, he's lying to you. It's just intellectual knowledge. It does nothing for you. Except it makes you feel good because people think you're smart or something. They're looking at you while you're speaking. You get all puffed up. And that's all you ever say. It's the devil. It's the devil. Okay, you said the devil 1,000 times. Move on. So don't hold on to knowledge and don't hold on to wisdom. Never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing or your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Don't hold on to anything. Can you imagine living a life without holding on to anything or anyone or anything or anyone at any time? What would your life be if you lived that way? What would it be if nothing became unimportant to you? If everything became unimportant to you and nothing became important? Have you ever thought about living that way? Is it scary to even think about it? Because when you think about it, it's like, well, what will I have? What will I hold on to? You say. Nothing. Zero. There's nothing or anyone that important, not even your own children, not even your husband, your wife, your car, your nothing. Your mind. The mind is a terrible thing to save. What a mess. So good for her. The Washington Post is reported that multiple polls in recent weeks have shown Trump performing historically well among blacks and Hispanic voters. Watch this from Citizen Free Press. Nice.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
I do too. Man, that's my first time seeing that. Beautiful. And all Trump is doing is being Trump. Giving you back or pointing you back to freedom. Pointing you back to freedom. Though I don't trust polls anymore, but the way things are going, I'm not surprised that, I wouldn't be surprised that so many people of all races would start to support Trump. Look around you. And the people in charge now, they're doing nothing. Zero. Literally zero for the country. That's mind-blowing to me. And they don't care that you know that they're not doing anything. They'll tell you that they are. They're not, but they go out in front of a camera and tell you that they are, and they're not. What a sad way to live. You don't have to wake up, but I want to encourage you to wake up. Wake up. No more sleeping. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. It's time to wake up. If not now, when? Though I don't trust the polls, that's for sure. They are all crazy too now. You can't trust them. But the great white hope is the way to go. Think about how things were when he was in the White House and what happened after he left and the way they are now. You can see it for yourself. The only way you won't see it, you don't want to see it. Or you're seeing it and you pretend that it doesn't exist. 888-7753-773. So the blacks are leaving the Democrats. Some. Harry Tubman is coming for you. You're leaving that plantation. What's wrong with you, boy? Pete is out of Alaska. Pete, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yes,
it's always
sir.
a pleasure.
Thank you, Pete.
I wanted to take a stab at that biblical question.
What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling?
Well, first you got to seek, which I think anybody who's honest with themselves, seeking God should put them in a trembling state. But I think it's like you often say, be glad to notice it so it can, and then let it go. You know, the little things about ourselves, how we are liars and how we put on different masks, and you got to be thankful to notice that, and sometimes that can make you tremble and fear the Lord. And then I'd also like to make a comment on Sean's statement about just words, using words. when you're using words, it lends to the imagination because oftentimes words have two meanings, so it can be lost in. That's why facing someone in a conversation, you get the best results of communication, really. So it lends to thinking, it lends to thoughts. Words do. So
amazing. I appreciate that, Pete, and I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday.
Right on. I appreciate you guys too. Have a great day.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. 888-7753-773. There is a line open. Let me go to Tony. I guess, what's that boy name from Texas? Ron phone kept dropping. Maybe going out to the supermarket and get another one. Tony out of California. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Justin.
Hey, Tony, how you?
All right. It's a shame how you talk about people's phone like that.
What do you mean?
But I was calling to
what do you mean by that?
Well, you told me the man went to the supermarket to get another phone.
Well, go out and buy another one because it looked like he was having a problem with the one he had.
Well, it must was a Donald Trump phone because it just ain't working correctly.
If it was a Donald Trump phone, believe me, he would not be having issues with it.
Yeah, you're right. It probably just, dissolved in his hand. But the thing is, you were speaking on polls. And I want to know, when have you ever known a true situation that polls ever came out truthfully?
So what now?
When have you ever known in your existence that polls told the truth on any election?
Who is polling?
You say polls. You were speaking on polls, the election polls.
Oh.
Dealing with Donald Trump.
Back in 2020?
Oh, 2020. Oh, that's the only one you can speak on?
Yeah, that's the one I remember. You asked when. Have I ever?
Okay.
And I remember 2020.
Well, Hillary was leading the polls during 2020. Donald Trump he didn't even believe that he had won the election.
They
stole the election.
They were lying when they said that Hillary was leading. It wasn't true. And so,
well, the same thing they're doing today about Donald Trump.
So I remember back in 2020.
Okay. Well, the thing is, your boy.
What you got to say about that?
I'm saying Hillary was leading.
Are you going to vote for the Great White Hope this time around?
I never vote for the Great White Hope.
And why not?
I don't support liars. I don't support deceivers.
Do you vote?
I'm trying to tell you.
Do you vote?
Yes, I do.
And when have you not voted for? Who did you vote for that wasn't a liar?
Who I haven't. Mr. Biden right now is doing a great job for the country.
Who did you vote for that wasn't a liar? Or you say you don't vote for liars? Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for that wasn't a liar?
You asked me, did I vote for Donald Trump?
When you voted, you said you don't vote for liars. That's why you're not voting for the Great White Hope, right?
I was speaking on Donald Trump.
And I asked, I asked you, did you vote? Have you voted? You said yes. And I asked, who did you vote for that wasn't a liar?
Okay, I can't speak on that. But you asked.
You can't speak on that. You said you voted, right?
And I told you I didn't vote for Donald Trump.
You voted though, right?
Answer your question, yes.
You did vote, right?
Once again, why you keep repeating yourself? I told you I voted, yes.
And you said you don't vote for liars. So when you voted,
who
did you vote for?
Can we move on, brother?
No. When you vote, you said you don't vote for. I don't vote for liars.
Vote for Donald Trump.
I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I don't vote for liars. And I asked us, do you vote? And you said yes. And I asked, who did you vote for that wasn't a liar?
I don't know. I don't know.
You do know.
Liar. It wasn't Donald Trump.
Who did you vote for?
It wasn't Donald Trump.
Who was it?
Well, it won't. But one other person, Biden.
You voted for Biden.
Correct.
And you said that you don't vote for liars.
Correct.
Amazing. Thank you, Tony. Amazing. I got to take a break. 888-7753-773. I rest my case. Back in a moment, folks. we have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Merry Christmas! It's Christmas in the air. It's everywhere. It's funny. Tony from California, I ask if he vote for, if he's gonna vote for the Great White Hope. Did he vote for him last time? We didn't vote. Like, no, I don't vote for liars. I don't vote for liars. Oh yeah, do you vote? Yes. Who'd you vote for? Biden. I'm like, what?
Come on, man.
What? Nah. Amazing. So listen up. Announcement. Number one, the Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. You don't want to miss it. And for personal shout out, it is Christmas time and New Year's coming up. Birthdays are happening all over the place. For personal shout outs, and I'll do them for you. Birthdays, wedding, congratulations, encouragement, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever the occasion is. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, and I'll do them for you. All right. And then we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I do it myself. If you need or want counseling, individual, family counseling, or whatever, by phone, Skype, or walk-in, go to rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. All right, for a counseling appointment. Also, it's the end of the year, so a lot of people are filing your taxes and things like that. And I heard in the Hake report that donations for nonprofits are down. For tax deduction for your donations, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com, make a donation there. Rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND to make a donation and write it off next year during tax season. All right? We have a newsletter going out soon. at the end of the year, we put a newsletter out. It's an amazing newsletter. If you like a copy of that, it's free. No cost to you. You like a copy of it, go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663 and leave your mailing address, whether it's your home or P.O. Box or whatever. We'll make sure you get a copy of our year-end newsletter. We do them like 2 to 3 times a year. And this Thursday, it's the men's forum, the last one for this year for Thursday. The first Thursday of the month is the men's forum. It's going to be a doozy. It's the last one for this year. And don't worry, lady, yours is coming up the third Thursday of this month at 7 p.m. All right? So men's forum this Thursday, last Thursday of the month here, right? I mean, but it's the first Thursday of each month that we have the meeting, but it's the last one for this year. Amazing. Let me go to Adrian out of New York. Adrian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So first I want to say congratulations on getting all you needed for the new equipment. I can't wait to see how that goes. That's going to be awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And the second thing is I called Friday. I don't remember what you were talking about, but I wanted to say that I've told 2 people about you, right? And they've listened to you. And I'm learning, like the guy Tony who just called in, that some people, first of all, it's shocking to me if someone says they don't like you. I'm like, what? How could you not like Jesse? He's incredible. But
you shouldn't, don't be shocked by that because the darkness hate the light. They hated Christ, and he was the light, right? And they hated him. So don't be shocked by that. Most people, not all, but most, don't want the truth. And as you wake up, they're going to turn on and treat you the same way or even worse. So don't be shocked by it at all. It's just the darkness and the light has no relationship at all.
Right. I do understand that. And when I do get shocked, that's when I'm like, that's what he's talking about. Who calls as well.
Adrian, your phone went out for a minute.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, it's still murky, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like Tony, like most people just don't want to hear the truth, even when it's really obvious, like someone's slapping you upside the head and they're going to sit there and say, no, they're not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I am.
Like Tony said that he wouldn't vote for President Trump because he doesn't vote for liars. I don't vote for liars. I'm like, well, do you vote? Yes. Who did you vote for? He didn't want to say, but he said Biden. I'm like, what the?
I know. But the good news is for myself, I'm starting to really see that. And I noticed that when I was Bible Jesse something, right?
Yes.
Which Joel had did a really good show on that one day, or I think it was the Sunday one that you weren't there. And I'm really starting to see it. And I know I'm starting to see it because the one person that I was talking to them about you was like, well, you sound like that guy. And I was like, no. Certain things that you say, they just are the truth. I'm not copying everything you say.
That's right, yeah.
But I actually do see it. I'm like, no, it's real. Well, you just sound like, and I almost questioned myself, like, am I Bible something? I mean, am I Jesse something? No. And I wasn't even saying anything the way you would say it. It was just the principle of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I questioned myself. And so the thing that I wanted to ask you was, like, so I hear a lot of people when they call you, because I listen to you as often as I can because I just love your whole show, the whole crew, everything. I just do. I can't help it.
Right
I still don't have those, even though I know intellectually we're not we're the same, but we're not all the same as far as our experience with God, because, you know, and so I'm just wondering, like, I do the prayer and I do my best to look at myself, but I'm still having a little bit of trouble distinguishing, or it's very easy for me to fall into not being able to understand fully all thoughts or all lies all the time, except for practical, and I have an understanding of that. But is it possible that I can hear what you're saying, see it for myself, certain things, certain aspects of it, see it when I see other situations, but maybe I don't love God, or maybe I'm just going to always be in this pattern of I hear it, I see it, but never really seeing real changes or supposed changes that I'm probably thinking I should have. Like, could I be pretending that I want to know God? Maybe. And I don't know. That was my question.
Can you just...
You know, because when I was a Bible thumper, you know, it was always that circle of, you know, doing everything I can, go up to the altar, cry to death, crying all the time, and then feeling good for about 5 minutes. And then, you know, some fake pattern of thinking that I wanted to be saved, but yet I was still, you know, not acting correctly or whatever it is that you do. But then, you know, but then I see things where I wake up, like I realize that, you know, the things that you said, they make sense to me, and how I had already walked away from the church a year before I heard you, because I remember thinking it can't just be go to church, cry to death, still feel miserable, smoke some pot, and go eat breakfast on Sunday morning. So I left. I was like, this is not working. So I don't know. Or maybe it's just all my head.
And so your question for me is what now?
Could I just be pretending?
Why do you ask that question?
Because just certain things haven't changed. Like, you know, I still smoke cigarettes, or I still think, even though I've forgiven my mom and I understand a little bit more, like my family can't help, you know, I was always a separate one from the family. But sometimes I still find myself, you know, craving acceptance from them, or why do I still smoke cigarettes? Or sometimes I, you know, still backtalk my husband, but then I catch it. You know, if I say I love God, how come these things haven't been removed?
And why are those things important to you?
I don't know, because I still can't distinguish. I still can't. I still don't fully understand that. That's just the truth. So am I crazy?
Why? So you see those things happening inside of you?
Yeah.
And seeing it, that's what you want, right? To see it.
Yeah, I want to see it, but
so,
I feel like it's on repeat.
You what now?
I said I feel like it's on repeat. Like I keep seeing it, but I don't see any substantial changes.
Like
so
what?
I'm wondering if I'm fooling myself.
Well, you know, first of all, I want to encourage you to stop doubting. You believe in those thoughts, right, which are not your own. And when Joel said what he said, don't, and I'm sorry he said that to you, but don't let that bother you. I let that pass, because the devil used that to make you doubt as well. And he'll make you afraid to even speak the truth, because he'll say, oh, you sound like Jesse, right? You want to see things for yourself. And right now, you're seeing what's going on inside of you, and that's all you need to do. It's not you. You're seeing what's going on. Why are you doubting what you see?
Because sometimes I don't know if that's me seeing it or me making up a story to make myself feel like I'm seeing something.
Are you able to see on your own?
Yeah, I think so.
You can see. How can you make yourself see?
Well, it depends on what you mean by see. I mean, I see that there's something that I was relying too much on my thoughts. I see that it can't be me, because why would God create me to just hate myself all day long?
And so how are you able to make yourself see?
Well, no. Okay, I got you. No, it's not that I can see it. I feel like if any kind of truth is revealed, it can't be from me, because if I couldn't see it before, then right, okay, got it.
And so you see the things that are going on inside your mind and body, right? I mean,
yeah.
And why are you having problems seeing that?
Because I don't know if I'm seeing it because God's allowing me to see it, or I'm pretending to see it.
And how do you pretend to see it?
I don't know.
Well, so where are you getting the idea that you're pretending to see it?
From the one who brings doubt.
And when will you stop? And that's where all thoughts are lies. He brings doubt through your thoughts. Why are you believing the thoughts?
I don't know, Jesse. Like sometimes I do, and then sometimes I'm like, it can't be me. So I'm going to just try to ignore it, but it just doesn't go away. It just stays there all day long. Talk. It's on nonstop.
And?
Right.
No, that was a question.
So no, I'm saying right. So you don't know what else to do. Just keep standing. Okay.
Why don't you just, without any opinion or discussion about it at all, why not just see it but don't have any discussion with yourself about it? It's enough to see it. Why do you talk to the devil?
I don't know. Because sometimes I don't even... sometimes I can see that too. And sometimes before I even know it, I'm talking, and then I'll stop and say, wait a minute. I'm talking to that person. All I have to do is see it.
Yes.
And then I shut up.
And
then the next second it goes right back.
And so if it happens 1,000 times in a minute, you just keep going back, coming out of it. That's all. Knowing that it's not you until it get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. It'll be gone. It'll disappear. But you've grown up believing that you were thoughts and feelings. You've identified with the layers and layers and layers of identity. But you got to be still now and just see it. And those identities will be taken away from you. But don't question it. Have no question. Don't call it good or bad, right or wrong, happen or not happen. It's enough to see it, and that's all you have to do.
Okay.
It's just a thought, unless you make a big deal of it.
Yeah, sometimes that goes in my head when that happens. I'm like, oh, it's a thought. Try not to have a feeling about it. All right, I'm going to just keep on doing it.
And there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with saying it out loud, like, hey, saying to yourself, oh, this is not me. No. And just, those are not my feelings. Those are not me. Eventually, you won't have to say it, but you're doing it verbally just to remember that it's not you. But if you get 1,000 times a day, if you have to go in and out, you're just in and out with no conversation, no concern, knowing that it's not you. And I'm telling you, you'll be fine, because you will lose the identity, the relationship with thoughts and feelings.
Okay. I totally believe you.
Yeah, and just be patient, though.
I just forget I believe. That's the problem. You forget. And then you have to remind yourself, no. And I know it's not a fake belief, because I just know it's not a fake belief. I'm sorry. I just know. There's no way I can see certain things now that I couldn't see before, or I couldn't understand. So I just have to be patient.
And if you're talking to someone And they say, "Oh, you sound like Jesse." Oh, okay. Who do you sound like? You know what I mean? They sound like
I know,
somebody.
I think it.
Yeah,
Look, the one person had the nerve to say, "Well, he had a kid out of wedlock," and something
But
else.
my
And I was
point-
like, "You
my
have a kid
point-
out of wedlock."
Yeah, my point is, don't just because you're speaking the truth, and someone say you sound like Jesse, and don't let that bother you either. It's just a word.
Okay.
Don't argue about it. Don't try to prove it to them. Don't try to change things just because someone said you sound like Jesse. You also
Yeah.
sound like Jesus.
I hope so. Well, that was real quick. That was the one thing I said. I was like, "Well, God, I don't want to sound like anyone. I want to sound like what I'm supposed to sound like
That's right.
when I'm supposed to sound like. I don't want to do that, and I recognize that. I don't want to be you. I can't be you. I don't want to be you. I admire you to high heaven, but I don't want to be you. I want my own words.
And it's
Whatever. And they're not my words. I guess they're his words. But when they
Right.
come, I want it to come, you know. But the other surprise for me is that I had a credit on my JetBlue account. So I'm coming to visit you for church and for the third Thursday of the month women's meeting in January. And I pray that you're not going anywhere.
amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I even saw the
Nice.
building on the internet. I'm a little hesitant, the fake hesitant, because it's California and I don't know where the heck I'm going and what I'm doing. But I have a friend's house to stay at, and they already have a car for me, so I don't have to rent a car.
Right
But
on.
and I saw your building. I just hope everything goes well because I'm scared of the traffic out there that you talk about.
Don't be
I don't want
afraid.
to get hijacked on the road. But I can't wait to come. I'm so
Nice.
excited. I feel like that's a privilege.
Hurry up,
Amazing.
January.
I know. Just don't go no place, please.
Okay, I'll try. I know I
Don't
got a
cancel
business thing, but I will definitely try to be here.
Yeah, for third Thursday of the month, and I'm coming for the service too. So
Right
I'm
on.
pretty excited about that. Anyway, thank you,
Amazing.
Jesse.
So relax.
I love you so much.
Same here, Adrian. But listen, just relax and just know that it's just a thought. It has no meaning. And when you find yourself in and out, just don't fret. Don't have long conversation about that. Don't discuss that with yourself. Just notice it. Come back to the present. Be aware of your body, and you're fine. And if you have to do it, as I said, 200,000 times a minute, you keep doing it. But don't call it good or bad. Don't call it success or failure. Don't give it a name. Don't give it another identity. And you'll see they'll all start to disappear.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Good to hear from you.
Nice to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Aaron is from Virginia. There's a line open, 888-77-JESSE. Aaron, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Good, good. I called you last week, and you definitely gave me some things to think about.
Oh, Aaron, can you, I didn't realize we were right at the top of the hour. Can you hold for me?
Yeah.
And I'll take your call as soon as I come back from this top of the hour break. The hate news, not the fake news, is coming up. And I'll be back in a moment. Another hour to go. There is a line open, 888-7753-773. We're going to get to your super chat, your phone calls, and everything. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
This climate summit president, a fossil fuel alarmist climate denier. Nice. That's exciting. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. December 4th, 2023 AD. First Thursday of the month is going to be the 7th, guys, for men only. Rebuildingtheman.com/events. Men's forums are first Thursday of the month. Women's forums, third Thursday of the month. People fly in from around the world to attend the men's forums first Thursday or women's forums third Thursday, and then stay in town for church with Jesse Lee Peterson, rebuildingtheman.com/church. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, reports climate scientists are outraged after the president of the COP28 Climate Summit, Sultan Al-Jaber, recently claimed there is, quote, no science, unquote, that says phasing out fossil fuels is necessary to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The Guardian reported it on Sunday. The far-left foreign outlet, The Guardian, he also said phasing out fossil fuels doesn't help sustainable development unless you want to take the world back into caves, he said. Not everyone agrees with him. Scientists call his comments incredibly concerning. Former U.S. Vice President Al Gore, who claimed to have invented the internet reportedly, he pointed out that the UAE's gas emissions are actually on the rise. CNN claims scientific reports have shown that fossil fuels must be rapidly slashed to keep the global warming below 1.5 degrees, a threshold above which scientists warn that it will be more difficult for humans and ecosystems to adapt. Al Jaber's presidency of the COP28 summit has been quite controversial, supposedly. Usually that means halfway reasonable when they say the word controversial, mainstream media. It's a buzzword for conservative or decent. The Emirati businessman is the UAE's climate envoy, UAE, United Arab Emirates, and he chairs the board of directors for their renewable company. But he also, renewable energy, renewables. He also heads the state-owned Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. Sounds like they're trying to hint that he has a conflict of interest, as if the evil climate scientists don't have a conflict of interest to keep their jobs, to keep the crisis going. They never admit that. As Dubai hosts the climate conference, some countries are pushing for the final agreement to have stronger language like phase out of fossil fuels, while others want to phase down so-called fossil fuels. The conference ends December 12th. So they have another week of this mess, more than a week. More tech layoffs, jobs. Spotify just laid off 17% of its staff, according to the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. About 1,500 jobs in the third round of layoffs this year. CEO Daniel Ek, EK, solid guy. Well, I don't know if he's solid. Said the company must be defined by being relentlessly resourceful in the ways we operate. Well, we're pulling for you, Spotify. Get rid of the SJWs. Just kidding. Shout out to the SJWs. I don't know. Rest in peace, Sandra Day O'Connor. Was she Irish? The far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, reports many are waiting the date of the former Supreme Court Justice's funeral. It was announced Friday she died at age 93 from issues related to her dementia. Hailing from Arizona, O'Connor grew up in her family's large ranch, went to enroll at Stanford University at age 16. Wow. In 1981, O'Connor became the first woman ever to sit on the high court, high on pot, serving as a so-called justice for 25 years, known as a moderate conservative, supposedly, and a swing voter in many cases, including affirmative action and abortion. In 1992, O'Connor was the fifth and critical vote against overturning Roe v. Wade. What an evil woman. President Biden called her an American icon. Chief Justice John Roberts, that rhino, described her as fiercely independent defender of the rule of law. There was an Indonesia volcano eruption. Indonesia's Merapi volcano erupted Sunday, spewing volcanic ash thousands of feet into the air. 11 climbers have died, another dozen missing following the eruption, per CNN. Cars, roads, entire villages blanketed in ash as evacuations underway. Located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Indonesia has 127 active volcanoes, more than anywhere else in the world. So we're pulling for you. Stay away from 2 miles from that crater. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Excuse me. Welcome to the show. The third hour already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. You can jump in there now if you like. Brand new biblical question. Brand new biblical question. What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? What does it mean to go to God in fear and trembling? That's no look cold. What's up? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, you can not able to sit and watch the show right now. You can podcast, of course, but you could be listening, doing whatever you're doing on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us, hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe, and we are on X, JLP Talk on X, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, all right? And we are going to get to your super chat to donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to buymeacoffee/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. I want to go back to Aaron. I had to put him on hold there. We ran out of time at the top of the last hour out of Virginia. Aaron, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Aaron.
Basically, what I wanted to ask you, or kind of get...
Come closer to your phone. Are you on a speaker or anything?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, hold on, buddy.
Can you hear me better?
I'm sorry, let's go.
Is it better now?
Yeah, speak up, but don't ever be on a speakerphone or YouTube kind of thing. I mean, earplug thing, whatever they call it. Go ahead.
Gotcha. Well, basically, I wanted to know how to go about, like, carrying the truth, and, like, when should you speak up, and, like, even when not to, like, speak up about it, I guess. Because I find myself in, like, some situations where I feel led to kind of speak, like, what I know is right on things, but, like, I don't want to kind of deal with everything that comes after that. I don't know. It's just...
You want to know when is the right time to speak up, you say?
Right, like carrying the truth, like when, basically just to discern and like feel like kind of, knowing like the right time to speak up about things, and even when if there's a time to not speak up, or,
whenever you're not sure, don't speak up. Don't do it just to sound good or look good or have a fight with someone about it or anything like that. never plan to speak up. And then when you do it, it'll be at the right time, and it'll be for the person that needs to hear it.
Okay.
When you say
Because
you're concerned about the aftermath of speaking up, what do you mean by that?
Well, I found myself in a lot of situations, like with my previous relationship, where every time I spoke up about some things, or like she would hear the truth, she would just deny it, and I would just catch hell from it. Like I never knew, like just the back, I guess, with everything else that would come after that until like I heard you speak up about it. You know, like I guess about not some people not receiving the truth, and like, you know, I would see the anger come out. Like once I would know what's right, and I would know what to say in those moments, and I would actually be very calm. You know, I'm not like a confrontational person or whatever. I've never been that type of person, but like every time I speak up about it, it's almost like I could just see it just started to just like get it react, and like everything, the anger would just kind of seep through her. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know how to deal with it at times, and she would get like violent, and I would just, I don't know, like I just felt like, was I bringing this on myself, or is it like I need to be clear about it? You know what I'm saying? I tell her when she's wrong and other things like that. But I guess doing that, it's kind of hard to receive what comes after that, because you never know how those people are going to react to it. Is basically.
And when you say she would become violent, did she attack you physically?
Yeah, she did. She did attack me physically.
Did you have her arrested?
No, I did.
Why not?
I caught her. I guess it's just, I don't know. I tried to handle the situation best I could in the moment. I still cared about it, at least thought I cared about it. You know,
if you cared about it, you would have her arrested for attacking you.
Yeah. No, I see that now, you know. She was out of control. I didn't know how to handle it, you know what I'm saying? Us both being so young, I never reacted in that way. And I never let myself get so mad to the point where I feel like that's something that even needs to happen when we start attacking one another, you know. So I would just, normally I would just walk away, or I would just, you know, on one occasion I called her father, and I told him, it's like, hey, this is unacceptable, you know, I can't allow this to happen. That was on the last time, you know. He talked to him about it, but he had a very, like, I guess, upfront, like, approach about it. You know, he said, you know, that's definitely not right. You should use your words, and I agree with him on that. He told her. But I don't think that she realized, like, in that moment how angry she actually was, you know, because every time after that, she would just immediately go to apologizing and say, I don't know why I did that. And I just said that you clearly being ruled by your emotions, you know what I'm saying? You're just acting out like that. You're out of control, you know. And
did you believe her once she said she was sorry? And then did you believe that?
I don't know if I believed it. I didn't really believe it, because it was like you're saying one thing, like, with your words, but your actions is showing me another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was confused, because she had me in such, like, an emotional state of, like, it was just so much, like, tied and wrapped up to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, constantly trying to go back and comfort me, and, like, with other things, and, like, you know, like I said, I didn't have sex with her, so it was like my mind, I couldn't think straight clearly to see and be able to, you know what I'm saying?
I understand
like,
that.
what's going on.
Are you done with her now?
Yeah, I'm done with her. You know, everything's done. Like I said, I blocked her.
Yeah. But when you speak the truth to anyone, your family member, your enemies or whatever, and they get mad about it, it has nothing to do with you at all. Zero to do with you. It's just that they hate that truth, the light of God that's coming through you. And so when it does happen, don't argue with them about anyone. Don't try to make them see the truth. You just spoke the truth, and they rejected it, and that's fine. You go on and live your life. Don't argue. Don't get mad about them rejecting the truth. Don't get angry at them for getting angry, because it has nothing to do with you. It's all in that individual, him or herself, and it has nothing to do with you.
Right, and it's like I think that it's really fun. Like, it's actually funny to see how people react and get so mad. And when it's like, I know that it's not my truth; it's the truth that comes from God. You know what I'm saying? I know that it's God speaking to me in those moments, like I said, because I've been born again, and I can see God trying to, you know, revealing things to me to speak to people. And it's like I feel the urge to speak up about it. And it's like I'm not gonna catch myself like just being quiet quiet or silent about certain things. And,
That's
I feel
right.
the need to speak up, especially when she tries to shove it on me and enforce her opinion. She's in college and she's a Democrat, so that those debates are going to come about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About different stuff that we used to agree on. So it's I definitely agree with what you said about not marrying an educated woman, because that is so true. I catch so much hell just being in that situation, and she's very opinionated. So
Yeah.
a strong-willed person, so I had to deal with that constantly.
An educated woman would never make for a good wife or mother.
Yeah.
It just won't
I see
happen.
that.
It can't happen. But and
Yeah.
again, Aaron, don't get angry at anyone if they get angry at you. Period. About anything, but because there's never, ever, 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 but never reason to be angry. And then, secondly, if they get angry at you, it's not personal. It's on them. It's coming from them. It's inside of them. They love it. They're angry and yelling because they want you to yell back, because they love their misery, and they're always looking to somebody within themselves to fight with. They look to the devil within themselves, but they look for other people to fight with. Never argue or fight with an angry person.
Yeah, definitely. And I see that a lot now, because she gets those habits, and she got that a lot. She reflects her mother in a lot of ways. She's very like her mother, and her mother also will put me in these uncomfortable situations anytime that I would go over there to speak with her. I would see her at times. She would try to speak on certain things, and she would definitely cling to her daughter's side, because it's they're like-minded, in a way that they think. So it's they kind of constantly trying to push me, this narrative, as me being the culprit in every situation, she's the victim. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we had disagreements, and she would tell her parents about her mother, and she would definitely just automatically cling to her side.
Yeah.
And I couldn't deal with that. Her mother even was aware that she put her hands on me, and it was she was automatically trying to justify it, see if I did anything to provoke that anger, and it's just she's not seeing that. I was very protective, and I shielded a lot of things from her family. I didn't speak up or didn't talk about stuff because it's I'm trying to protect her. I know now I should have spoke up about it, but it didn't do me any good, because I just been painted in this image of this bad person, someone that I'm not. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, learn from it. Let it go. Don't be angry about it. Be done with her family, and you just work on you and let life happen, and it's going to be amazing for you.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Thank you, Aaron. Amazing.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy. 888-7753-773. John is a first-time caller out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. John, welcome to the show.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
All this well.
I want to first of all say thank you for doing what you're doing, sir. A lot of us have been in the dark, especially, I know you say you went to Crenshaw for 20-some years.
Yeah.
I was part of the same organization just like that, about 28 years.
Wow.
And used to follow them and follow that man, and but I always had questions, but I kept following that man, thinking that I'm following Jesus.
Yeah.
And it was misleading me, and I finally got it. I finally started listening to you more this year. Up to this year, I couldn't stand you because I thought you hate black people, and you was a white guy in a black body.
Amazing.
Not realizing that what you was doing was attacking that spirit that was on us of living in the past. And once I saw what you was doing and finally heard you and saw the truth, now my eyes starting to open. My wife, she really can't stand me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And she's starting. It's coming around. However, she really, this church that we attend, that she attend, and I was attending. She asked me a couple of weeks ago, "Oh, so you don't go to church with me no more?" I said, "Going to this place is remind me of going to a stage play.
Yeah.
I can see people performing. That I can't listen to the music because I see what they're doing. They're performing, and when I listen to the man preaching, he only telling me what he think of what he read.
Amazing.
And what he read is his opinion. So I really don't want to hear their opinion no more. And if I can't go and not have an opinion, I don't need to go right now.
Yeah. Nice, man.
So we've been dealing with that, but I do have a question about. I got a couple of questions, Mr. Jesse, especially the one you mentioned yesterday in church.
Okay.
About have we ever critiqued? Have we ever a question you asked about? It was a question of, I forgot what it was, about critiquing the person. Jesse,
was it about the victim thing?
Victim, creating a victim.
Yeah. Have you ever been a victim, and have you ever created a victim?
And based on the teaching I'm getting from, not the teaching, the taking me back to the Father I'm getting from you, either one, I've never done either, Mr. Jesse, because if I'm a spirit, I've never been in that position to make someone a victim. But in my ego, I have made plenty of victims.
And how? Can you give me an example? What did you do to make a victim?
When I was, my wife said I have a tendency to, when I think I'm right about something, I can feed it into you and not really care about what you think. And if your opinion don't line up with my opinion, then I'll throw you away. That's what I used to do.
Amazing.
And now that I see what you're saying, I'm starting to, my spirit starting to recognize what you're saying. My ego got to die. If that don't die, if the anger in me don't die, then I'm going to continue to live in hell and think that I'm going the right way.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. One other way that you create a victim is your wife. When you first met her and you catered to her, whatever it is, you catered to her, you were creating a victim then. And now that you are starting to stop catering to her, she is losing control over you. You hear and see that victim mentality coming out. You don't go to my church. You're not going to do this. You don't do this. And you created a victim in her, and that's what the screaming is all about right now.
Wow. So it wasn't me, was it? Was it me or was it?
No, it wasn't you. You're right about that, but it was the nature of the devil, the ego nature,
the nature of the devil,
that created a victim.
So we can worship our family, Mr. Jesse? Can we worship the family members that we call our family members? Is that possible?
100%. As a matter of fact, all egos worship everything but God.
Wow.
Everything but God.
Okay.
The ego cannot, will not, don't want to not, ain't not, is not going to worship God. It only worship itself and everything and everyone outside of it. Even to get angry at someone is worshiping them.
Mrs. Jesse, I'm fighting. I'm not gonna say me fighting, but in my marriage, and this is my second marriage. First marriage, I was in it for like 17 and a half years, and I'm thinking that I don't want to deal with that kind of marriage again, and not knowing that if I still got in me the anger and still haven't forgiven my mother, I don't know nothing about all that. I'm thinking that I'm going to marry somebody else who's really a godly woman, and she's going to do right, and we're going to be right. And I got into the same trap.
Yeah, that's what happened when you're in the prison of anger. You're just going about in that prison repeating it, the same thing. Even if it is with a different person, it's still the same thing, the same spirit.
Mr. Jesse, how long you been around doing this, sir?
35 years.
Wow.
Are you doing the silent?
Yes, sir. I've been doing it. I've been doing it consistently for the last 3 weeks, every day, every night, and throughout the day. Well, more than that.
Yeah.
Last month or so.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I still got the ego of me still got certain habits. Mr. Jeff.
Well,
And
all you have to
when I listen to you from past, I've been listening to your past services on church services.
Yes.
And I hear you talk about it a lot. And I've been wanting to jump on TV and jump on you, Mr. Jesse, but I know you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I heard what you said yesterday about that message. You know, certain things we try to do it ourselves, and that's when we get in trouble. That's when we go deeper into it.
Yes. Absolutely. So, are you fighting with your wife right now?
I'm not fighting like I were, Mr. Jesse. The real me is starting to take over. I'm starting to observe the thoughts that come when she want to fuss and fight. I'm doing better by observing the thoughts that come instead of me speaking out like I used to do.
Yeah.
I'm starting to observe better and not let my ego take over.
I want to make a really strong suggestion for you. From this point forward, never, ever, ever, ever argue with her again. Don't try to prove anything to her. Don't argue with her. If she try to argue, let her argue by herself, no feedback. Lay your weapons down. No more fighting with anyone about anything. And no fighting in your imagination with the devil about anything. You want to become just the watcher of what's happening inside of you and watch what's happening outside of you, inside of others, and have no opinion about it. Don't call it good or evil, right or wrong. You just be the watcher. And the one that's causing you to see, which is the Father of God inside of you, he'll take care of everything. He'll fight your battle for you.
Amen. I'm starting to see that, Mr. Justice. I thought you was playing at first.
Yeah, there's nothing you can or need to do but to watch. Don't try to prove anything to anyone about yourself or about them or anything. And when the opportunity comes for you to speak up, speak up. Don't be angry. Okay. Don't try to prove it, but speak up when you need to. And if you don't need to speak up, let it pass. Even if the devil telling you, oh, you're being weak, you're being that. You don't owe anyone anything, and you have nothing to give.
All right. Yes, sir.
All you need to do is just let life happen.
Let life happen. Yes, sir. And one more question, Mr. Jesse. When you asking people in the church service about things, what did they have a life this week? Now I'm working on. I want to make sure I line myself up not to remember the past at all.
Yeah.
Am I doing wrong by not trying to remember when you asked me that? If you was to ask me that question, how was your week? If I tell you I don't know, I wasn't there, would I be lying to you?
Yeah, but when I ask the people that, I'm paying attention to see if they are growing spiritually. Are they getting understanding? Are they watching themselves to see what's going on with self? Or are they just waiting to be taught by me or something?
Gotcha. I know it was a purpose. I just want to know, because I know what is Mr. Jesse really doing. Because I know he said we don't live in the past.
Right.
We don't live that way. So
yeah.
What's really going on?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I got you, sir.
Yeah,
I'm
just trying to encourage the people to make sure that they work on keeping their eyes on themselves, the fake self, to see what's going on.
Right.
And so that's why I asked them that.
Okay, I understand.
Amazing.
I'm going to continue to listen to you, sir.
So let me ask before you're welcome. Let me ask, why did you have children by your first wife?
I got a son. Yes, sir. We got one son. He's grown.
And do you have kids with the second wife?
I have none with her. Her son was grown when we got together.
Has she been married before?
She was married, and at the time we got together, the guy she was married to had abandoned her, had left her, and she didn't know where it was at.
Now you see why he left and then he abandoned her. She was held to deal with.
Mr. Jesse. I didn't know no better, sir.
I know.
I wasn't there, sir. I didn't know no better.
I understand, and that's what
I didn't know no better.
That's what
if I had to do it all over again, I know better.
Yeah, and that's what these women tell the men. I hear it all the time. Women tell the men, "Oh, my first husband abused me, or my boyfriend abused me. He left me. He did this," and the guys, they get involved with the woman thinking that they're saving her, and all they're doing is catching the same hell that ran the other man off.
Ooh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm, Mr. Jesse. I'm seeing it. If you don't know, you can't,
Right.
don't do. But what I used to tell my son, don't ignore the red flag.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing, Mr. Jesse. I'm thinking that we at the same church and we under the same teaching, and we're doing it. We were so separated. It didn't make no sense. I thought we was on the same page. We were both going in different directions, and we thought. Now I know.
Yeah.
And when you tell a person who made that mistake or got into something like that, you got to go through it because you did it.
Yeah.
And I can't blame nobody but myself.
That's right. Absolutely. Amazing call, John. Man. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with the prayer. I don't care what happens, what situation comes. Stay with the silent prayer. Never stop doing it.
Yes, sir. We'll do. I thank you, sir.
All right,
Have
buddy.
a wonderful day.
You too. Amazing call. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Amazing. Once you wake up, once you see, you cannot unsee. Isn't that amazing? Let me go to Nathan out of California. Nathan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Nathan.
All right. Well, I want to call you and thank you for the silent prayer.
That's
because I don't know. I've been to your church a few times. I've got questions, and I was waiting for you to call me a beta because I probably told you I was 39 living at home with my dad, but you never did. And, I never felt that you did. Because, we talked about what we did in church, and I kind of felt like me and my father have a great relationship.
Right on.
Now.
Yeah.
And that, I heard, who's the new guy? The guy that screens the calls?
Sean, my producer.
Sean, I heard him talking yesterday about lying.
Yes.
And one thing I have been lying about for the last 6 months, Jesse, is about taking the prescribed medication.
What do you mean lying about that?
I've been lying to keep the peace.
So you have not been taking it?
I have not. For the last 6 months, I've just been doing the silent prayer morning and night. And it's been working out for me. I have no tension, no troubles.
Wow. And who you been lying to about it?
Just my father. Just my dad.
Oh, I see. And if you didn't take it, he would get upset or something?
Yes, it would be why aren't you taking it? I don't want to get into the problems that we've had before.
Oh,
and
I see.
It was always an anger issue.
Yeah.
I always felt, from the moment I ever had to check in with the hospital room, because sometimes he would be like, hey, this was the only roof I had over my head, and he's like, I'm going to kick you out if you don't go to the hospital. So I go down to the hospital, tell him, hey, it's no problem, I'll check in. I go for the 3 days. Sometimes they keep you for longer, sometimes they don't. I get out, they give me medication, and I come home. And this has been like the cycle for the longest time.
That's amazing. What they do in the hospital is you just lay up and take medication in the hospital?
Yep. Yes. And so you lay up in the hospital and you take medication. You can lay in the bed. I laid in the bed for about 5 to 7 days, Jesse. I didn't get out of the bed. I just laid there waiting for the medication to do something, for something to happen.
What the?
I laid in the bed there. I got out of bed for maybe a meal, one or two meals out of the day, and then back to the bed.
Wow.
When I eventually realized, nothing would work, the doctor just said, hey, it's time for you to go home. Come in, and I was like, well, what has happened? Nothing has changed since the first day I went there to the day I left. I was always in the bed just laying there. There was no therapy or anything that helped.
Hold on, Nathan. Can you hold?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. I got to take a break. There is a line open, 888-7753-773. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. And I'll be back in a moment. Check out my book, For Race to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. And you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. How's your dog handling that dog in your new song?
You know, he's still. I'm keeping him away from seeing it.
Oh, you haven't let him see it yet?
I cut it off right before that comes on.
He would be ticked. He'd be like, "What the?" And the dog in the movie is white. and what's your dog name?
Sandman.
Sandman is colored. Oh, God.
DOC. Dogs of color.
I'm telling you. The treasure, D-Live is finally working again, so the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Let me make a few announcements here. Number one, the Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. And I think Hake is back on YouTube today, are you?
Yeah. I am. I was back after at the first half of my show on Friday, actually.
Oh, yeah?
It just suddenly started streaming.
Nice.
Because that's when it suddenly went down the prior Friday.
Oh, nice. So Hake is back on YouTube today as of Friday, the past Friday. And so from 9 to 11, you can catch the HakeReport.com from 9 to 11. And James Hake is on fire. The guy with the good hair. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. All right. And what else? The men's forum this Thursday. The men's forum is this Thursday. Christmas is here. Lots of people are shopping. Go to our merch. We have amazing Christmas stuff there. And they ship it right to the person. You won't have to deliver it. You will not have to deliver it. All right? Amazing tote bag, mugs, T-shirt, hoodies. Even one with the great white hope on it. All kind of good stuff. And my books, by the way. Go to rebuildingtheman.com. My books are amazing for Christmas presents. I will sign them and we'll send them to whomever you want to receive it. All right? Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/store, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. I asked for your support to make donations so that we can buy new equipment and stuff, upgrade our computers and the studio and all that kind of stuff, right? We asked for help and you gave it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. We all appreciate it to the utmost. Thank you. And we're going to work, take our time, do it right, and we're going to make everything work one way or another now. Thank you for your support. You donated a little over $70,000. $70,000. Thank you. I do appreciate it. We all appreciate it. We're going to get things done. And then starting in January, we're going to hire 2 people, a PR person and an accounting person to run the front office. All right? Because everybody got so many jobs around here. We got to start hiring. So a PR, if you experience, we need you to have some experience in PR. You're not afraid to deal with folks, and because my schedule is like overwhelming right now, and we got to start working that better. So if you're man or woman, male or female, all right, I got an email from a woman who said how qualified she was. She said, if you're taking women, yeah, we hire women too. So male or female, if you know PR, got some experience in it, you're good at it. And if you're, for a second person, if you know accountant and can work in front office, it's pretty busy front office, send you a resume to Rebuilding the Man, or maybe Bond at Bond.
Bond at bondinfo.org.
Bond at bondinfo.org. Bond at bondinfo.org. All right? And we're going to hire right after the holidays. And again, thank you so much for helping us to get the money so we can update our equipment, $70,000. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Let me go quickly back to Nathan. And Nathan said that he had been lying to his father about his medication. And Nathan, how long have you been off the medication?
For 6 months, Jesse, and I hate not telling the truth, and he's been telling me that he's grateful for the relationship, how things have been for the last 6 months, because that's how long it's been since I've been back here, and I just want to kind of get an idea if you think there'll ever be a time where I can sit down and say, hey, this person who I am that you're grateful for now, has not been on meds, is doing the silent prayer. I know he doesn't like you or the silent prayer. He thinks it's hokey stuff, he says.
Right.
But
well, I'm not telling you.
I don't expect him to believe in it or whatever. But I just want him to know that it works for me. Do you think there'll ever be a time where I could sit down and have that conversation?
If you again, I'm not telling you stay on the medication or get off. I'm not a doctor, but there will come a time, and just be patient with it. There will come a time where you'll be able to have that talk with him. Okay. It will happen naturally.
Okay.
And so don't hate nor don't have any opinion about not being able to tell him. And don't have any opinion. Don't call it good or evil or anything. Just wait for the moment, and the moment will present itself.
Yes, sir. Because he's asked me, but he doesn't press me like he used to. He asked me hey, you're still on your meds, right? Probably because he's never seen me take a pill. You know what I mean? And and I just go, yeah, Pop, come on, sit down and watch some TV or something, And
nice.
The day just goes on. Yeah.
Well, I wish you well with that, man.
All right. Thank you very much. I hope to come back and maybe see you for the men's meeting or church sometime soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Nice.
I love you guys at Bond. Take care.
You too, buddy. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Elise Aurelian says, "Hi, Jesse. I'm low-key mad at you. LOL. I just went out this Friday, and it just happened that I witnessed a conversation between men and women. The women are pure evil. They really recreate their child in their image. I said I'm mad at you because I really noticed that I can't unsee the evil in mother. They traumatize their child because they birth them. They feel like anything is acceptable for their bad behavior. Men need to come back to the order."
Yeah. Well, one thing about when you truly see, you cannot unsee. That's for sure. And I understand it, but when you see that stuff, don't judge it. Have no opinion about it. Just seeing it alone is all you need. That's amazing. Stay with it. Amazing. Thank you.
Chillin' Lean bought 3 coffees. Jesse, thanks for pointing the way. You do amazing work. I've been doing the silent prayer for a couple of years now without fail. It sure does wonders. One question. When I first started out, I was strict about doing it in a seated position, but lately I've become more comfortable doing it laying down. Is this less effective when you do it lying down?
No, not at all. The reason I encourage people when they first start to sit up and do it, because now that you're starting to let go of the world, you're letting go of all the stress, you're letting go of all the situations, you're letting go of everything, your body is going to relax because it will be no longer stressed out. So when you first start doing the silent prayer, you may fall asleep when you lay down and do it. But as you do it, you're coming back to your normal state of being. Then you can lay down and do it if you want. You can stand on your head and do it. You can, you can however you want. It's still fine. All right? So no problem, as long as you're not falling asleep. Amazing. Thank you.
Ada, Daughter of God, by 83 coffees. Very generous donation. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Ada?
Ada or Ada, A-D-A-H.
Oh, maybe Ada.
Whatever.
But whatever. Thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry about your name.
Yeah. Piotr Robel bought 5 coffees. Thank you, Jesse and the team, for the best fellowship on this side of heaven. Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Gregatron bought a coffee. It's nice to know the church I listen to is full of a bunch of liars. What the?
Can you tell a liar?
Yeah.
Have you lied this morning?
I plead the 5th. I decline to answer.
Have you lied this morning, Hassan?
No, sir.
Yes.
Oh, dang.
You said okay?
I said, oh, dang.
Oh. Amazing.
Rocky the Mexican.
If you stay with the silent prayer and watch, and I may have a conversation about it later. It's just, I want people to think for themselves, be able to see before I just blurt it out. But you're going to be able to see a liar. You're going to be able to, the moment they speak, you're going to know they're lying. It's so interesting. It's mind-blowing. The moment they say one word, you'll know that they're lying right away. And they don't even know that they're lying. That's what's weird about it. They do not know that they're lying. Isn't that amazing?
Well, that's the cool thing about Christianity is that you can't lie.
You can't lie? No, what they do is lie.
Well, not. Anyway.
Well, not the real Christianity.
Yeah, we're called to not.
Oh.
Where
well, not
other religions, that's not really a...
Oh, I see. Oh, I got you now. But a liar doesn't even know that they're lying. Amazing. Thank you.
Rocky the Mexican, exclamation mark, Mexican flag emoji, bought a coffee. Hi, Grandpa Jesse. You black. About last week, biblical question. What distinguishes you from other people?
Yeah.
You said nothing, but I have to say the fact that of being reborn, it doesn't make me special or unique, but besides that, we are all the same. And the other question about creating a victim, you said anyone who teaches you the truth creates a victim, but you teach us about the truth. Does that make you create a victim? Gracias, team. Si, senor. Strong arm emoji.
Hola. But I don't teach. I point you back to the teacher. That's why I teach when I first start in my services. If you notice, I always ask, did you have a life this week? Anyone have anything they want to share? Or did you just come here to hear me? Right? I want people, do what you want, but I want people to find the teacher within. And they can know the teacher. And that's why when we fellowship, we are fellowshipping to edify one another and to correct one another without judging, without judgment. Amazing. Thank you.
Over on Rumble.
You got to know how to rumble.
Riley JM99 saw a picture of blacks. He said, check out these blacks. And look at and he saw this black father with a ring on his finger and these 3 children reading from a book inside of a subway, like a New York subway train.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there reading rather than being on their phones. Wasn't that a beautiful sight? He said.
Amazing. Thank you.
Dale from Ohio bought 2 coffees. Jesse and crew. Been listening since 2016. Always been a Christian, but I was doing it wrong until I found your channel. Thanks, guys. I stayed up all night to get a messy can. Halo smiley emoji.
Nice. Stay with it. Stay with. I don't care what happens, and the devil will get busy. But let the devil be busy. You stay with it. All right? It's amazing. Thank you.
Wayne from Texas bought 5 coffees. Job versus career. This is a reference from church. When I was making minimum wage, I would walk away at the drop of a hat, and I could never keep a job. But when I found a job paying me $250 an hour, magically, I could keep a job and never left. Today I have been at said job for at least 20 years. LOL. Lots of laughs.
Nice. Yes, stay with it. Amazing. Thank you. Yesterday we had this conversation. One guy, between a job and a career, he was saying that he was unhappy with his job, I think, and it wasn't a career. A job is a career. Career is just a fancy word for the ego to make you think your job is important and it's worth more than what it really is, and makes you feel good when you mention your job, what kind of work you do. But your career. And it's set up to use you to make you go to college and spend money, get in debt, and tell you, oh, you're going to have an amazing career so that they can make money off you. But a career is a job. A job is a career. It's a job. Watch out for the words, all right? The fancy words and all that. They set you up to take advantage of you. Amazing. Thank you.
Also from Wayne in Texas, 5 more coffees. College versus no college. Generally, college is a bad idea. It's too expensive and they teach foolishness.
Yeah.
For example, a doctor or lawyer, in addition to a 4-year degree, has to complete 6 to 8 years postgraduate work. However, for advancement, some employers use not having a degree as an excuse to jack you up. So for this reason, get a 4-year degree from a community state college. Costs 1/10 of what these Ivory League colleges are charging. Takes away from the employer's excuse. Finally, I don't believe everything they teach at these colleges. Know and not believe. Just a paper and a run.
Yeah.
And run. Just get the paper and run. Stay in the moment. Cheers.
It's just a way to make money. Everything is about the money with these folks. They don't care about you. This is why I'm encouraging you to pay attention to yourself, because you're not loved by anyone. There's no love. Amazing. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee, Jesse, and he repeats that message from Friday where we ran out of time about the average price of the homes being $740,000 in California. But we answered that in the first hour. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Eric bought 3 coffees. I'm finally doing the silent prayer every day, but I inevitably get lost in sin by the end of the day. I'm addicted to sin, and I can't maintain any meaningful faith when tempted by evil. I can't be left alone with my thoughts for a moment. I think I'm going to just give up and send myself to hell, said Eric with 3 coffees.
If you're in your thoughts, Eric, you're already in hell. Let the thoughts go. If you have to do 1,000 times a minute. Just come back to the present. Have no opinion about it. Come back to the present. Have no opinion, good or bad, failing or losing or winning or whatever. Just do it. You'll be fine. Thank you.
Also on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Paul says, Jesse, these BLM leaders want Trump back in office because they've been out of work. Trump gives everybody jobs on both sides.
That's right.
Goat emoji, I think.
The great white hope. Thank you.
Greatest of all time.
Yep.
Ramel in the loop bought a coffee. Thanks, Hassan, for telling my wife to shut up. I've been trying for years. Must have been waiting on God. Cheers to you for that.
Nice. Waiting on God. Waiting on God. Nice.
Base Nation with a $10 Rumble rant. No mess. Edge. Parentheses.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Canadian David also on Rumble, a monthly supporter. Jason Lee Peterson on Rumble. So Trump is civil with Gavin because Gavin Newsom is civil with him.
Nice. Thank you.
He also says, my dog barks during Hake news.
Ooh, not the fake news, but the hate news. He love it. The dogs are showing you joy. Thank you.
Cabico John 67656 bought a coffee. I feel the same as Adrian from New York, that gal from the second hour. I can see the devil putting words in my head, but even if I see it and it knows it's not me, I still fall for the devil's deceptions. Not all deception, but it still happens. How do I rid of the devil completely?
Nothing but come back to the present. That's all you need to do. Come back to the present and come back to the present, and the light would get rid of the darkness. Really. That's all it is. So it's not you, and don't judge it as you. Don't argue with it. When you find yourself in the thought, just come back to the present. Amazing.
Kilo Alpha Tango donated a diamond saying, what the... Unmute me. I wasn't aware you were muted. And Dijon Pa.
Who was muted?
Kilo Alpha Tango, allegedly. Although he can still give diamonds, but nothing else, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to check it out. Dijon Pa donated a diamond. Hashtag free Kilo. He my knee. Gar bicep choking stinky.
What?
I'm afraid to read these sometimes. Thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Let me go to Joe's. Is he a first timer? Joe Zaire out of California. Joe Zaire, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well, sir.
I know you only got a little bit of time, but actually I wanted to ask a question. I recently lost my job, actually Thursday, and I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of felt the thoughts kind of coming through my head, like, man, like what am I gonna do? But at the same time, it was almost like a weight lifted off, because it was a good job, but I don't know. I feel like I could do a little bit better. So I just wanted a little advice of maybe, how I can. It's my birthday today too, actually. And I woke up this morning and I was like, man, like I'm 25 years old, but I still kind of feel unsuccessful in life. I just lost my job and everything.
What does it feel like to feel unsuccessful?
I don't know. It feels a little saddening, but at the same time, it's like I'm living. I'm still living life. I'm still young, but it's crazy. Almost every year since I was 21, I kind of had those same thoughts on my birthday every time.
And so, unsuccessful feel like what?
I said it feels like a little saddening, a little bit, just because, it feels like I'm still in the same spot I was, 4 years ago.
But why do you call a sad feeling unsuccessful feeling?
I don't know.
Josiah,
I don't know.
Are you able to call me back the first thing tomorrow or when you can
Oh
tomorrow?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, call me back, and Sean will remind me that I talked to you today, and I'll come right to your call.
All right, that sounds good, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Amazing.
All right.
Yeah. I am so out of time. The Hake report, I don't know where these 3 hours went to just like that. But they exist no more. They're gone. They're nowhere. They're not in the past. They're not in the future. They are gone. It's just a thought now. Isn't that amazing? The Hake report is coming up now. The Hake, Hake report.com. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby is on fire. He ain't the Anchor Baby for nothing. And I'll be back tomorrow, Country Western Tuesday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Thank you for helping us to get our equipment updated. I do appreciate it. And to the callers, Rick and all you guys, I am out of time. Thanks for your calls and thanks for your super chats and everything. The Hake report is coming up now. Take care. Find a way. Find a way.
You must know that so you can. Something went wrong, but check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa. So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way. or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax.